You ready? You got me running. Shake it, feel that. Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Forex Trading Asia Daily Currency Call, episode 292, the 18th of May. So this is the currency call where you will get market economic updates, key support resistance levels, trade ideas, and more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and short-term traders. Here we will be going through what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and also highlighting potential targets and risk. So a disclaimer here, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. Okay, as usual, let's start things off with Scott on the dollar index. Scott here from Forex Briefcase Australia. Yeah, Scott, pass the time to you for the dollar index.
All right, hi everyone, and happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us again as well. We'll just bring up the chart now, thanks to Sam Trade. And look, there's a little bit to talk about right now. This morning, we did see nearly a break of the 90 price point of support for the index. It has bounced a little bit. I've just got the daily time frame up now just to show people the significance of this. So disregarding the earlier move lower, and it actually did get below 90 there. The low was 89.93, and that was back earlier in May. So we have been down here before recently. We've also been down here back in, that was the 25th of February. So it's been a little while, and we have seen the dollar pull back a little bit. So we're currently trading at, close to 90.10 or so. Now, my thoughts for a breach of this level, and, the next support level is down significantly lower if it gets through 90. There's going to have to be a real strong catalyst. And to me, with the FOMC members mentioning last night, in regards to quantitative easing and how they're going to update the market. And, it didn't seem particularly dovish, and that I would lean towards those comments being, quite positive, and that, they see slightly sooner than expected potential easing of the quantitative easing program that has been, really just, it's been printing money pretty relentlessly for the US dollar. So there's some opportunities here. We just have to wait a little bit. I mean, we do have a little bit of news, and I'll share. I'll just show people what I'm having a look at here as well. So I've got the EchoFin up here as well. So what we're looking at, we do have the US housing starts coming out at 20:30 tonight, GMT +8 Singapore time. And, pay attention to that and see what happens. But, with the supply constraints, we're probably going to see a miss, and building permits month on month as well as coming out at the same time. So there's a little bit more going on than the numbers reflect. So, if it somehow is better than expected, we could see, it just takes any little slight good news, and it could easily lift the US dollar up here, because it's really bounced strongly from this point before. So I would pay attention to what's going on. We've got another FOMC speech out as well, member Bostic, at 12:30 today Singapore time. So no, tomorrow Singapore time, 12:30 in the afternoon. So I would just pay attention to that and just see what the market does. But it's to be bearish now, I just need a little bit more information. But if we break, quite strongly through here with some good price action on the daily candle today, once we get all this news out tonight, then there is a potential sell trade. But the more likely scenario I'm seeing, just from what's happened in the past with the chart pattern, with the bounce, I would say, we're looking for a buy. But we just have to wait and see. I mean, there's some crazy things going on in the market right now. So we'll just see what price action wants to do tonight.
All right, thank you, Scott. Just a question here. I saw that in the chart you have that support going on. So you are looking at a close of the candle on the daily chart, or what are you looking at?
That's right. So just to specify, so what I'd want to see in regards to like a bearish, candle would be that it closes close to the low, it closes below 90 as well, and that would indicate that the market has perceived things as not particularly great for the US, and that would be a real clear sign that we could see some further downside if that happens. That's what I'd be looking for.
Okay, thanks so much, Scott, for the dollar index. And right now, I will get Jin here. Jin from founder of LCMS Traders, multi-million dollar trader trading an account with more than US $14 million on a daily basis. So Jin, let's get into the currency in focus today, which is the euro. Jin.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today, looking at the euro dollar, the main thing, right? I'm super happy that Scott was saying that we might see a bounce in the US dollar, maybe even just a short bounce we might see on the US dollar. Looking at the charts right now, things seems to be playing out that way. Why I say that? Let me just go through the news to start off. Here we are on the Forex Trading Asia economic calendar here. Looking at the news today, on Tuesday, we have the pound news coming out at 2 p.m. GMT plus 8 Singapore time. That's all the employment numbers, claimant count numbers, average earnings, and employment change. That's going to probably affect the pound dollar a little bit, but seems like it's still going to be okay. The main focus here, given that it's the euro dollar we're talking about today, the GDP, the Eurozone GDP quarter on quarter expected to stay at minus 0.6%. Same as last quarter, no change. Year on year, also going to stay at minus 1.8%, no change again. This might come out as minus 0.6. It might actually come out as a little bit worse because quite a big parts of the Eurozone have been on lockdown over the last quarter. So we might actually see GDP drop a little bit. With that in mind, at minus 0.6%, might see some downside on the euro dollar coming around. With that said, on Wednesday, we also have the Eurozone Cpi numbers expected to go from 0.9% to a 0.6%. So CPI number is the inflationary indicator, looking to go from 0.9 to 0.6, probably going to prompt a little bit more action from the ECB at this point. So looking at this, again, not very good news coming from the Eurozone. And then as we go into Thursday, we have the FOMC meeting minutes that was spoken about before, some Euro numbers. And then on Friday, we have all the Eurozone PMI numbers, French manufacturing PMI, services PMI, German, and then the Eurozone as a whole, looking to go from 62.9 to a 62.5, services PMI to go from 50 to 52.3. So looking at this, PMI numbers again at this point, looking at some changes, but not too significant. And looks like it might be a bit of a mix. Manufacturing PMI looking to drop a little bit, services PMI probably to increase a little bit. That mixture is probably going to throw the prices on the euro dollar a little bit off its natural course. So with all that in mind, what could happen in terms of the charts? Now looking at the euro dollar here on the H4 time frame, the last time we spoke about it, we said that if it was going to break above that 1.2175 level, we could see it head up towards the 1.2261. Didn't do that. It didn't close above 1.2175, right? So it hit that point and turned back down, broke below 1.2145, tested 1.2053. So I'm super happy that, it's testing my support and resistance lines at this point. Why? I think that with the probably not so good news coming from the Eurozone, with that few economic data being released, and also probably some short-term US dollar strength coming around, we could actually see the euro dollar turn back down, same like what it did last week, turn back down from this point, break below 1.2145 and head back towards 1.2053. So at this point, what you should be looking for or planning about is for it to go down this way, for it to break below 1.2145. So look for selling opportunities at about 1.2135. You have a tight stop loss at about 20 pips. Take profit about 80 pips. You're looking at a 1:4 risk reward ratio towards the downside. This, again, for all of you who like chart patterns, is going to form a double top. If it does break below that 1.2145 level, you could see a top from last week. You could see a top forming from this week. Then you see a double top formation pushing euro dollar lower towards that 1.2053 support. So that's the euro dollar possibly coming towards the lower side. If that does happen, then we could actually see the euro pound also being dragged lower below that 8580 support level. Okay, so now it's very close, it's at the 8580 support level. Look for it to break below this point. I'll be a little bit more conservative here. I would say that the euro pound could be dragged down by the euro dollar, but only look to sell if it breaks below 8565. If it breaks below 8565, you're looking at a 20 pip stop loss. Again, for a 60 pip take profit level, a 1:3 risk reward ratio at this point. But again, another reminder, if you are trading the euro pound, do not just focus on the euro dollar, but pay attention to what's happening on the pound dollar as well. Pound dollar has been climbing, breaking above that 1.4150 level. A lot of news, a lot of things going to happen on the pound dollar. Like I told you yesterday, the focus for this week might be at the pound dollar. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for that, Jin. Yeah, so let's get Daniel here. Daniel from LCMS Traders Trading Coach. Yeah, Daniel, so I understand that yesterday you guys went through a coaching session and then this morning the Signals team actually fired out a couple of target profits. So would you like to share a little bit more about that, Daniel?
Yeah, sure, Junwei. Yeah, yesterday we had a group coaching sessions. So it was pretty good. We went through what the current market conditions, last week, and then we identified what's going to happen this week. We mentioned that we will look at for, and especially that today, and especially this week, pound news, UK news, a lot of UK news coming in, which will affect the pound. So we were literally looking together, explaining in detail how to identify trades, what do we look out for, and what should we do, right? And then what the decision, and then while moving on, what the decision to hold on to the active trade or to close to secure profit, just like in the Signal team here as well. Now, if you can see right there, not only that, we also talk about anything like group coaching sessions. We talk about what a lot of questions and answers came in from simple things such as how to use the spread. We know that it's a spread. What should we do? What should they look out for? How do they use the spread? What to make use of it? We also talk about, in fact, a lot of people were wondering about on the spot, what's happening on Bitcoin. So we did a very small sessions on Bitcoin, looking at where it will possibly move if it breaks. For example, when we look at it as that if it breaks below the 45K, it could move or even further down. Now, the group coaching sessions, it's fantastic time for a lot of questions and answer sessions. So it helps a lot of members here on what to do, how to trade, and preparation of the trade here. Okay. Yeah, it's also we teach them about whether to hold the trade or to secure the profits here, just like the Signal team. Jimmy.
Okay, thanks for the introduction on that, Daniel. So yeah, guys, I've just pasted the links on the chat. So if you're interested to check out the Traders Club for the faster signals, if you're in the Telegram, you're actually receiving the signals later. But if you join the Traders Club, you're receiving it faster. So do check it out at the tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. Yeah, so we have come to the end of the session today. We will see you guys tomorrow for the pound analysis. Thank you so much and goodbye.